What's going on, No Horsing Around family? Back at it again. I'm one part of No Horsing Around, the hosting family, Zach Boyd. So glad to get on here and react to another Colts win as the Colts go over 500 once again. We went, above, went back to even. Now we're back one game over, 7-6. As it plays, we got some big games coming, I think in the 4 o'clock slate, and then the later slate, of course, with Kansas City and Denver. As we're currently recording this, the Chargers are up by 16. Cincinnati Bengals are marching, but it looks like that the Chargers are in good control of that game. We do need a little bit of help, but we're here to celebrate, man. I mean, Jonathan Taylor, I believe 32 carries, 143 yards, 2 touchdowns. I thought Michael Pittman Jr. had a good game. I thought he was very active, not from a volume standpoint. He had some end arounds. He had a lot of catches. He moved the sticks. He continues to be the one guy on this team that Carson Wentz has obviously, taken trust to. Had a little bit of a drop in the end zone, but went through that ball very, very hard. I'm not going to hold it against him. He's been very reliable this season. And the theme of this one, defense. Kenny Moore starts the game off. You think, hey, that ball just went out of bounds. And then next thing you know, Kenny Moore gets both feet down, comes back the next possession, punches the ball out. Him and Grover Stewart kind of attacking that football, gets it out. And that just set the tone for this whole game. First shutout, I believe the announcer said the first shutout since 1992 on the road. That's pretty impressive, 31-0. That is how you want to win these games, and that's what you have to do. If you want to be a playoff team, you want to be considered one of the better teams in the league, you've got to go out and take care of business. And I like the fact that they bounced back. They didn't take an emotional week off, after that hard-fought game against the Bucs. They came back and took care of business. Now they get next week off to get a chance to be as healthy as they've ever been for this stretch run. We've got the Patriots, we've got the Cardinals, and back-to-back Saturday primetime games. Then we're going to play the Raiders. That's a game I'm circled as one of the most important games that we have for the rest of the season because I think there's tiebreaker implications there. Quite honestly, there could be tiebreaker implications with the Patriots game as well. Who knows what happens? A lot's going to happen. And, guys, one thing that we'll be covering as it goes, schedules of the last 4 weeks, 5 weeks of the season, and seeing, like, some of those teams who are in the mix with us. There's a group right now. We got the Chargers, Raiders, Broncos, ourselves. Seems like us four kind of all fighting for it. I think that I think that the Redskins have a really good chance just because of their defensive prowess. I think they have a really good chance of actually beating the Raiders. The Raiders are a very up and down, hot and cold team. They don't have Darren Waller again. He's been banged up with that knee injury. But overall, it was just an impressive game, man. It was just an impressive game. Not a lot to complain about. It's kind of one of those weird games. We were always in control. We did a couple things. We got stalled out a little bit. But, I guess if you're going to look at things that you didn't like, Badgley misses a field goal. But, you're going to give him a pass on that. I don't think he's been bad this year. That was his worst one he missed. Something to keep an eye on, though, because, he kicked that extra point. It dinked in there, and it did go in there. He got the extra point. But he wasn't sharp today kicking the football. Something to keep an eye on as they move forward and monitor for sure. Maybe that's something they look at in the bye week, and say, hey, we're going to get some confidence back, or are they going to open up a competition again? Or are they just going to roll with him moving forward? Sounds like Frank Reich's pretty committed to moving with him moving forward, but we'll find out. Field goals, points, everything. We're going to need it all in this stretch run as we're playing 3 teams that 2 will probably for sure be in the playoffs with the Patriots and the Cardinals, and the Raiders are going to be playing for 1. You'd like to think that week – us or the Raiders, one of us could potentially knock one or the other out of really having a shot at making the playoffs. 10 games probably get you in no matter what. 9 games, I'm not sure. You want to look at the schedules, and we will. We're going to monitor the Chargers moving forward. We're going to monitor the Broncos moving forward. We're going to monitor the Raiders looking forward. We're going to monitor the Bills too because we have the tiebreaker against the Bills, and the Bills have a little bit of a tough stretch down the end. I think they play New England twice. I expect that to split 50-50 down the middle. But all in all, man, come on. What are you going to say? It's a game that we were supposed to win, but we did what we were supposed to do. Colts took care of business. Defensive shutout. Jonathan Taylor doing Jonathan Taylor things. He's over 1,300 yards, 16 touchdowns now. He's one more touchdown to break the Colts single-season record. Unless he's hurt, I would think that's probably going to happen. He had the fumble. Guys, I wouldn't worry too much about it. When you carry that many times in a football game, sometimes that happens. I don't think this is a trend. He usually does a pretty good job of holding on to the football. All in all, a really good game, especially with the game. I thought Danny Pentner didn't do so bad. He's in the run game. I think it took a second to kind of, get used to. And we realized when we pulled him out and used him with his athletic ability, that's really what his strength was going to be in that game. He wasn't quite as powerful as Ryan Kelly, so it took him a minute. And Houston, credit to Houston defense, they had their line was ready to try to attack the run. We were just too much today. We were the better team, as we should be. Guys, light us up in these comments. Let us know what you think. What I really want to know from you guys is it going to take 9 or 10 wins to make the playoffs? 9 or 10, and who is the most formidable team who has a chance? I'll say the Chargers are going to be the hardest team to trump and overcome, because I think they're actually a pretty good football team. But I want to know what you think. Hit us up in the comments, like, rate, review, subscribe, and we're asking you to join the No Horsing Around family. Stephen and I love what we do. We love interacting with you guys. So get the chat going. And till next time, Colts win. We're going to celebrate and enjoy this bye week.